Before I get into my video, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Hope you guys enjoy time with your family, or the time with yourself. For you guys that are not into the whole family thing around the holidays. But I got asked by a subscriber, do I think Arsenio Hall sold out? And this is a conversation that's been going on. I didn't just hear about it through one of my subscribers asking me that question. I've been hearing it on YouTube, in my social life, on the internet, and so on and so on. And I think a lot of people forget what Arsenio Hall did back in the 90s. He was one of those guys that pulled a lot of strings to get people like NWA and Minister Farrakhan and Mike Tyson and all these celebrities that we have a lot of respect for, or those political or social figures that we have a lot of respect for today. It was Arsenio Hall that put these guys on the map, and said, hey, this is a person that we need to pay attention to, and somebody that we need to support them in all their endeavors. And it seems like now, especially since this whole Jim Brown and Kobe Bryant thing has came out, it seems like now people are questioning whether he sold out, or whether the reason he came back or they gave him a show again basically was due to him selling his people out. And I've been to numerous Arsenio Hall shows, like I've said before in previous videos. I work within the music industry, and a lot of times for convenience, I'll go and meet certain artists at the Arsenio Hall show to do business and everything. Just simply for convenience, so they don't have to run to the label and etc. etc. We can just handle everything right then and there. And I've talked with Arsenio Hall. I've grown a relationship with him. I know him personally. And, he's a real down-to-earth brother. A lot of things, that they can't air on television, he says behind the scenes, And, he's very upfront, and I would say honest. And, it's just funny how we have a generation, especially within black folks, that, seem to forget. We forget very easily, and I think that's a problem within our community. We hoop and holler, we give people credit when they do something, but then it's like 2 minutes later you forget what a person has done, or the footsteps they've made to make your generation better. We can refer back to the Black Panther Party and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and Rosa Parks and so on and so on. And I'm not relating Arsenio Hall to them, because there's no comparison, but I'm saying we forget what those in the past have done to create a better future for us and for our generation. And I think that people seem to forget what Arsenio Hall has done, and when it comes to the whole Jim Brown thing and everything, like I said, in my previous video, I don't think that was the right place for Jim Brown to come out and say that, although I do know that Jim Brown is very honest, and Arsenio asked him a question. And when you ask somebody certain questions, you can't get mad at the way they respond. And they could have edited out the show, but they didn't want to edit out the show simply because they knew it was going to get everybody talking, and it was good for the show. Some of the things on the Arsenio Hall show I do question. Some of the certain stereotypes that they portray, and certain judgments that they do in the skits and everything. I don't find those to be always funny. I don't think some of the, not all of them, but some of the skits are bettering black folks. But then I understand the industry. A lot of times within the entertainment industry, you gotta take the good with the bad. Everything is not gonna be your way. And until we gain that type of power and that economic power to where we can call our own shots, or we have companies, not like BET, because BET is not even really ran by black people. It's been taken over. But when we start creating our own source of entertainment, where we can put out our own visuals that we want to see, and the type of images that we want to put out there to the public, we're going to always be somewhat in the headlock of white entertainment. So, even though I see Arsenio Hall, say certain things that need to be said when it addresses towards the black community, I also understand the game. I understand that, sometimes you have to, turn your cheek a little bit in order for you to progress to the ultimate goal that you want to do, and that's having the power to make certain shots or say what you don't want to be on the show. Let's not forget that this is the first year that he's been back, so it's like you can't jump right out of the window and get the show canceled already. You have to, I'm not saying lose your respect or put messages out there that are just what's the word I'm looking for? Just to the extreme when it comes to certain stereotypes, and not just of black people, but of people as a whole. We can't jump out the window and forget about the overall picture just because we're wrapped up into our emotions. And I just think that for people out here that's calling him a sellout, or saying that he's changed, or he's doing what the white man wants him to do and all that other bullshit. I think you guys need to really go back and really study who Arsenio is, and really do your research and learn your history of what he did for our culture and for a lot of these people that we respect nowadays. Let's not forget that Arsenio is the only late night black television host that's out there right now. Well, we can turn on the TV every night, at 11 o'clock and see people who we identify with and talk about those things that we want to talk about. But, it's crazy out here, man, that people just forget about the footsteps that people have laid to make things better for them. And a lot of these people out here, they talk all this black power shit and, oh yeah, Khalid Muhammad and Hotep and all that. I don't knock those people who stand behind those people and really live their life according to how those people live their life. I don't knock that, but at the same time, I think we have a lot of imposters out here. We have people who talk, a lot of this black power shit, talk about, who's the Uncle Tom and who's the Sambo and who's the coon, but these same people call other black folks niggas. People who move outside the black community and never go back. We got a lot of people out here, might have got a college degree or whatever, or just obtain the economical power to move outside the black community. And what do? They get on YouTube, or they go to the barbershop and they start lecturing about how black people need to do this, or why they don't want to live around so-called niggas, or them niggas over there, they don't know what they do. I'm not going over there, I'm staying where the white folks at, but yet they'll complain about the white people in their neighborhood. Then we have those people who talk this black power stuff, but the minute they get offered a certain amount of money, they'll get the buck dancing like any coon out here. So it's a lot of perpetrating people out here, and you wanna find out who's a coon. Offer them some money. Offer them a certain level of power, and you see who get to start the cooning out here and who starts the sambo. I get on here and I do these videos. I don't get paid for none of this bullshit. YouTube is putting ads on my video that I didn't authorize simply because I've gotten over 1,000 subscribers now. But I haven't made $1 off of this. I don't do this for the money. I do this because I care about my people. But also, when I log off and when I get off of YouTube, I'm doing things in my community. Not in the white suburb, not somewhere way across town. I'm doing things right in the black community. I'm building, I'm speaking, I'm growing, I'm investing. And I think we have a lot of people out here who talk the talk but don't walk the walk. We've been talking for over 500 years, and it's time for us, those who believe in black power and those who believe in progressing our people, it's time for us to get out here and start doing the groundwork. We can't just get on here, eat Cheeto Puffs and shit and watch CNN and watch NBA games and just talk about what we need to be doing or pointing the finger at certain black people. We need to be out here helping these people. creating opportunities. Those who have the economical power or the resources to pull all other black people into these certain type of industries or to help them economically. We need to start doing that. It's time for us to stop pointing the finger, saying who's the coon, who's not the coon, when really, when you look around, you probably the person right next to you is a Sambo, but they just hide it so good you haven't recognized it. So, you know what I mean, I just want to make this video because I think we point the finger at the wrong people who, you know, have came out here and done justice for our people. And I'm not saying people can't change or, you know, this thing, there's not certain flaws, because like I said, I don't agree with everything that goes on the Arsenio Hall show. And I've been there. You know, I see what goes on behind the scenes. But then I see what that brother is doing, you know, on the show and outside the show. That a lot of people are not recognizing. That a lot of people wouldn't do themselves, don't even do in their community. So, you know, next time, you guys out here talk about black power and what we need to do, ask yourself, what are you doing? Or are you just talking?